Buddy, welcome to the channel. Today, this is from ForbesMagazine.com, and this is called Yes, You Can Use an Electric Scooter in Rural America, written by Sebastian Blanco, contributor on transportation. Black walnuts, empty beer cans, and roadkill. There are some things you need to worry about when you're riding an electric scooter in rural areas that you probably never considered if you only ever experienced one of these things in a city. That's the only place that this man ever rode one. But when Eco Rider asked if he'd like to review one of their two-wheeled models, he said sure. But he explained, I live in a rural area, which means I'm not your standard e-scooter rider. It turns out that an electric scooter is not the craziest thing to have out here in farm country. Eco Rider let him borrow their most powerful model, the $845 L5 Plus, which has a range of 14 to 28 miles and can carry up to 280 pounds. Both of these have a range of 10 to 20 miles, and the smaller, lighter S5 for $499. Both of these have a range of 10 to 20 miles and can carry up to 250 pounds. All three models top out at 20 miles per hour from their lithium-ion battery, LiFePO4 chargeable batteries, from a standard 120-volt outlet. Here is how he tested the L5 Plus. There it is. He scooted through the cornfields. That's number one. When you live around 5 miles from town, going to the store or the post office means hopping in the car. When it's nice and I have time. The bicycle is a great alternative, so is an electric scooter, I found out. It's a nice middle ground that lets me get there relatively quickly while not adding any emissions to the air. When the road is smooth, it's quite fun to cruise quietly on rural roads. The rear-mounted electric motor in the L5, he said, never felt overwhelmed, and he said it got up to top speed without any problems. But riding one in the backcountry can be a bit scary, he says. To be sure, he tested a dirt road ride, and he does not recommend that at all. There is no suspension to speak of, and you'll feel every bump through the solid tires. That means that paved roads are easy peasy, he says. Going 20 miles an hour on roads where it feels like some sort of obstacle on the road, black walnuts or empty beer cans or roadkill, he says, would wipe him out. Is tough enough without worrying about the pickup truck speeding by 55 miles an hour. He found that riding in the middle of the day, under bright sun is really the best way to go, as is using the optional headlight for more visibility, he says. The scooter has a built-in red tail light and brake light. Eco Rico says its models can drive up hills with a 10 to 12 degree incline. He says, here in lower Michigan, they don't have these kinds of slopes, which means I never had a problem heading uphill. He says the scooter was plenty powerful and it was almost surprising how fast he got to town. Once the worries about getting hit, even while wearing a helmet, he says. Number 2, taking a test mile ride in the city. Throwing the scooter into the car to use when he visited the city allowed him to ride it where it was originally intended. But here, too, he says, the experience was subtly different for him compared to someone who lives in town. Depending on his errand list, when he goes to Grand Rapids or Kalamazoo, and close big towns near here, it's not uncommon that he move a car a few times going from place to place with a large enough backpack or satchel. There's no good way to carry anything while riding an electric scooter without a bag like those. He says he can handle all the things he needs to do while leaving the car where it is. The best is when you park outside the pay parking location and then just cruise on in. Use a convenient U-lock space to secure the scooter when a bike lock when he went inside. So yes, you can use an electric scooter in rural America, at least some of us can. It's not for everyone, and the feeling of exposure when he's riding on a busy shoulder was noticeably stronger when he's standing up on a scooter than it is when he rides his bike. But maybe it's just something he'll need to get used to. One thing he learned for sure is that people who'll be racing e-scooters at 60 miles an hour in the new e-scooter league are certainly going to need some of the smoothest roads, or they're going to be flying off those things like nobody's business. All right, sorry for the coughing and gagging, but this is from Sebastian Blanco. He's been writing about electric vehicles, hybrids, and hydrogen since 2006. His articles and reviews have appeared on most of the big green car blogs. All right, so if you want to subscribe or like or dislike this video, go ahead and do so. This is for information purposes only. I am not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So this channel will continue. And thank you for watching. Subscribe or hit the like or dislike button. And thank you and have a great day. Take care.